Multiverse Lottery System. Chapter 1. The day I became a civilian ninja pain. That was the first thing I felt. Not the pain of a wound, not the pain of a broken bone. It was the dull, suffocating ache of a headache so severe that every heartbeat felt like someone was driving a nail through my skull. I slowly opened my eyes. A wooden ceiling, a cracked window, a thin futon beneath my body, and the smell of old wood mixed with medicinal herbs. I stared at the ceiling for several seconds. Where am I? My voice sounded unfamiliar. Young. Too young. I immediately sat up. The room spun. Ugh! I pressed my fingers against my temples and waited for the dizziness to disappear. Bing! A mechanical sound suddenly echoed inside my head. I froze. A translucent blue screen appeared in front of me. No, not in front of me. Inside my mind. Multiverse Lottery System has successfully bound to the host. Soul synchronization, Fanfiction.
Memory integration.
World identification, Naruto! My breathing stopped. For several seconds, I simply stared. Naruto? The word escaped my mouth. Then the memories came, not mine. A boy's memories. His name was Rohit. He was 12 years old. He had been born in Konoha. No famous clan, no powerful parents, no Kekkei Genkai, no secret bloodline, no legendary teacher. His father had been a low-ranked shinobi who died during a border mission 2 years ago. His mother had died from illness when he was 6. He had inherited a tiny house and almost no money. His chakra reserves were average. His talent was mediocre. His academy grades were acceptable. And his current status? Civilian-born academy student. I slowly climbed out of bed. My hands were trembling. Wait. I walked toward the mirror hanging beside the wall. A skinny 12-year-old boy stared back at me. Black hair, dark eyes, ordinary face. No Sharingan, no Byakugan, no Uzumaki blood. Nothing. Just an ordinary kid. I touched my reflection. This is real. My heart began beating faster. Then another memory surfaced. A memory from the previous owner of this body. Yesterday, Konoha had been strangely quiet. Today, the streets were even quieter. And the reason was something every Naruto fan knew. The Uchiha clan had been massacred last night by one person, Itachi Uchiha. I felt the blood drain from my face. The Uchiha Massacre. I immediately looked toward the window. Morning sunlight illuminated Konoha. The same village I had watched countless times on a screen. The Hokage monument, the academy, the streets, the shops. All real. All alive. And somewhere inside this village was a 12-year-old boy who had just lost everyone he loved. Sasuke Uchiha, my favorite character. My brain went completely blank. Then I laughed. A dry, nervous laugh. Of all worlds, why this one? The system responded immediately, because the host's soul possessed sufficient compatibility. That's not funny. The system did not intend to be humorous. I stared at the screen. You're actually talking? Can you give me a cheat ability? No. Bloodline? No. Sharingan? Rinnegan? Six Paths Chakra? No. Then what's the point of you? There was a pause. Then another window appeared. The Multiverse Lottery System. Primary function: exchange wealth and valuable resources for multiversal rewards. I blinked. Yes? How much wealth? The system recognizes Ryo, ninja scrolls, rare materials, chakra-related resources, and other forms of recognized value. I rubbed my chin. Okay, what can I buy? The screen changed. 1. One-time life restoration system. Maximum restorations, 10. Price, 1,000 to 100,000 Ryo per target. Cost depends on target's strength, soul quality, and importance. Guaranteed restoration under system conditions. 2. One-time devil fruit system. Maximum fruits, 3. Cost per fruit, 1 C rank or higher ninja scroll, plus 10,000. Fruit selection is completely random. 3. One-time life extension system. Extend lifespan, 6 months, 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. Cost increases according to target and duration. 4. Multiverse lottery. Possible rewards. Weapons, skills, potions, physical enhancements, passive abilities, bloodline-related items, special equipment, consumables, unknown rewards. Price variable. I stared at the screen. Then I slowly smiled. You're clearly a gacha addict. The host is the gacha addict! You're charging 10 million Ryo for a random devil fruit.
That's robbery!
The system recommends increasing the host's income. I fell silent. That was the problem. Money. I had almost none. I opened the wooden box containing the previous owner's savings, 3,800 Rio. I stared at it. This is everything? I slowly closed the box. My dream of becoming rich had officially begun with less money than some restaurant meals probably cost. I looked at the system again. Suppose I want a devil fruit. 100,000 Rio plus 1 C rank or higher ninja scroll. Suppose I want to revive someone. Minimum approximately 1,000 Rio. And if I want to revive someone powerful, potentially 100 throw. I swallowed 100 million. That number was absurd, but my mind was already working. There were people in this world who were dead, people whose deaths could potentially be changed, people like... I stopped myself. No, first things first. Survival. I couldn't save anyone if I died because I couldn't afford food. I walked to the small table and grabbed a piece of paper. Then I wrote 3 words. Money, power, information. Under them, I added another. Sasuke. I stared at the last word. Sasuke was 12. Traumatized, alone, consumed by hatred. If I approached him carelessly, he'd reject me. If I acted too friendly, he'd become suspicious. If I mentioned Itachi, I immediately crossed that possibility out. Don't touch the wound. Sasuke didn't need another person telling him what he had lost. He needed someone who could stay, someone who wouldn't ask for anything, someone who wouldn't pity him, and eventually, someone who could become strong enough to stand beside him. There was another problem. Naruto, Sakura, Shikamaru, Choji, Ino, Kiba, Shino, Hinata, Neji, Lee, Tenten, the entire future Konoha generation. If I wanted to survive the coming chaos, I couldn't remain isolated. I needed connections, information, resources, and money. Lots of money. I looked at my reflection again. An ordinary civilian ninja stared back. I clenched my fist. Fine. If the strongest cheat isn't mine, I smiled, then I'll buy one. The first investment. The academy bell rang. I left the house. Konoha was strangely peaceful. That was the terrifying part. People were buying vegetables. Shinobi were moving across rooftops. Children were laughing. Shopkeepers were opening their stores. Nobody looking at the village from the outside would understand that one of Konoha's most powerful clans had disappeared overnight. I walked through the streets quietly. My eyes kept scanning everything. Shinobi, shops, mission boards, weapons stores, restaurants, information. Everything had value. And for the first time I didn't see Konoha as a fictional setting. I saw it as an economy, a living market, a battlefield, a gold mine. The mission system was obvious. D-rank missions, C-rank missions, B-rank, A-rank, S-rank. But as an academy student, my options were limited. I couldn't simply accept high-level missions. I needed another route. I stopped beside a small convenience shop. A dozen ration bars were stacked near the entrance. I looked at them, then at the price, then at the ingredients. My eyes narrowed. Interesting. Konoha was a military village. Military villages consumed enormous quantities of food, and shinobi needed portable meals, which meant supply chains. I suddenly understood something. The Naruto world had advanced chakra technology in some areas, but surprisingly primitive commercial systems in others. There were opportunities everywhere. The problem was starting capital. I had 3,800 Rio, so I needed something I could sell without capital. Knowledge. I smiled. I know the future. Not everything, but enough. I knew certain techniques, certain events, certain trends, certain people. And most importantly, I knew what people wanted. I turned toward the academy. My first step wasn't becoming strong, it was finding a way to become valuable. Chapter 2. The Lonely Uchiha. The academy training grounds were quieter than usual. Students whispered among themselves. Some were excited, some were confused. A few had heard rumors, most didn't understand what had happened. I did. I walked through the training field slowly. Then I saw him. A boy standing alone beneath a tree. Black hair, dark eyes, blue shirt, white shorts, a face that looked far colder than it should have at 12 years old. Sasuke Uchiha. For a moment, I forgot to breathe. There he was, not the cool anime character, not the genius rival, not the future rogue ninja, just a 12-year-old boy. A boy who had watched his entire family die. His expression was empty, his eyes weren't. There was something buried inside them. Pain, rage, confusion, hatred, and beneath all of that, fear. I remembered the story. Sasuke had been praised his entire childhood. Then everything disappeared in a single night. His parents, his relatives, his clan, his home, his brother. And the only person left was the person responsible. I didn't walk toward him immediately. Instead, I sat on the other side of the training field, far enough away not to invade his space. I took out a kunai, then started practicing. One throw. Miss. Another. Hit. Again. Miss. Sasuke glanced at me. I pretended not to notice. 10 minutes passed. 20. Eventually, "You're throwing wrong." I looked over. Sasuke was still staring at the target. I smiled slightly. "Yeah." He frowned. "You know you're doing it wrong?" "Yes." "Then why keep doing it?" "Because I don't know the correct way." Sasuke stared at me. I shrugged. "Seems like a problem that can be solved by practicing." He looked away. Silence returned. "Good. That was enough for the first day. I didn't ask about his family. I didn't say I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't say I understand. I didn't say Itachi was evil. I didn't say anything stupid. Because I knew something important about grief. People didn't always need advice. Sometimes they needed normality. After another few minutes, I stood. "See you tomorrow." Sasuke looked at me. "Why?" I stopped. "Why what? Why are you talking to me?" There it was. The question. His voice wasn't angry. It was suspicious. I considered my answer carefully. "Because you're here." His eyebrows tightened. "That's stupid." "Probably," I smiled. "And because you seem like someone who doesn't want to be bothered." He stared. So? "So I'm not bothering you." I turned around, then stopped. "Actually," I looked back, "your stance really is wrong." His expression darkened. "Get lost," I laughed. "See you tomorrow, Sasuke." I walked away. Behind me, I could feel his eyes following me.
Relationship detected. Target Sasuke Uchiha.
Have psychological condition, severe trauma. Warning, forced emotional manipulation may cause negative consequences. I frowned. "Don't worry, I won't manipulate him." Host intends to build genuine friendship? Yes. Interesting. I stopped walking. Why did you say that like I'm doing something unusual? Most hosts prioritize rewards. Well, I'm not most hosts. I continued walking. Then I remembered something. Money. The system wasn't going to give me a reward just because I was nice. I needed to earn. My first businessness! That afternoon, I went to the academy library. I spent 3 hours reading. Basic chakra theory, herbal medicine, shuriken manufacturing, mission regulations, food preservation, civilian trade, Konoha's merchant guild structure. And then I found it. A section about field rations. I smiled. The village had standard military ration packs. They were nutritious, cheap, portable. But the taste was terrible, and shinobi ate them frequently, very frequently. I spent the next 2 days experimenting. Rice, dried meat, salt, spices, preserved vegetables, a simple combination of ingredients, nothing revolutionary. But I added one thing, a technique from my previous world, a preservation method, not supernatural, just smart packaging. I couldn't mass produce it, but I didn't need to. I needed a demonstration. On the 3rd day, I walked into a small shop owned by an elderly civilian merchant. He looked at the package in my hands. "What is this?" "Portable field food." He laughed. "You're an academy student?" "Yes." "And you want to sell me food?" "Yes." He laughed harder. I waited. Eventually, his laughter stopped. "How much?" "Nothing." His eyebrows rose. "You can test it." I placed the package on the counter. "Give it to one shinobi, and if they like it, we negotiate." He looked at me suspiciously. "Gad, why would I trust you?" I smiled. "You don't." That made him pause. "You're only testing the product." I turned to leave. "That's enough." He called out, "Boy." I looked back. "What's your name?" "Rohit. Come back tomorrow." The next morning I returned. The merchant was waiting. He slammed a small pouch onto the counter. 5,000 ryo. I stared. 5,000? For the recipe and packaging method. My heart nearly exploded. That was more money than I had ever possessed in this world. I picked up the pouch. It was heavy. Very heavy. Ah! Current balance, 8,800. I stared at the system. The system cannot be satisfied with 8,800. I know. I clenched my teeth. 5,000 was nothing. Compared to 10 million, it was microscopic. But it was the first step. Then the merchant spoke. "I'll give you 10% of the profits for 3 months." I froze. 10%? "If the product sells?" I smiled. "Deal?" I left the shop, but I wasn't satisfied. 5,000 Rio wasn't enough. I needed a bigger opportunity, and I found one that afternoon. The mission scroll. A group of academy students had been assigned a simple supervised task. Collect medicinal herbs, nothing dangerous. Normally it would be worthless, but I noticed something. One of the herbs on the list was extremely common, another was moderately rare. And the third was used by military medics. I remembered from my previous life that this herb had enormous medicinal value. I couldn't reveal how I knew, so I did something simpler. I went searching. After several hours I found a patch, a large one, much larger than expected. I carefully harvested it. Then I brought it to a civilian medical supplier. The man inspected it. His eyes widened. "Where did you find this?" "Training ground. You're lying. Then don't buy it." He stared at me, then sighed. "How much?" I named a number. He countered. We negotiated. Eventually I walked out with 42,000 ryo. I stood outside the shop, silent, then slowly raised my hands. Yes. People on the street looked at me. I immediately lowered them. Ahem. Professional. The system appeared.
Current wealth 50,000 AM.
Continue accumulating. I stared. 50,000. It was still nowhere near enough. But suddenly I had an idea, a dangerous one. I returned to the academy. The sun was setting. The training field was almost empty. Almost. Sasuke was there again. Same tree, same silence, same expression. I glanced at me. "You came back." I said I would. "Why?" "Because I said I would." He looked annoyed. "You talk strangely." "So I've been told." I sat down several meters away. For a while, neither of us spoke. Then Sasuke asked quietly, "Are you afraid of me?" I looked at him. "No. Why? Should I be?" His eyes hardened. "Everyone is talking about my clan." "I know." "You know?" I nodded. He looked away. "Then you should be." I didn't answer. A few seconds passed. "I don't think you're dangerous." He looked at me. "I think you're angry." His fingers tightened. And nothing. I leaned back against the tree. "You don't have to explain." For the first time his expression changed, only slightly. But I saw it, his guard lowered by a fraction. I smiled. "By the way, what? Your kunai stance improved." He blinked. Then, "Really?" "Yeah." A tiny smile almost appeared on his face. Almost. Then it disappeared, but I had seen it. I stood. "Tomorrow?" Sasuke hesitated, then nodded. "Tomorrow." I walked away. My chest felt strangely warm.
Hush.
Relationship with Sasuke Uchiha has improved. Current relationship. Warning, relationship development will require time. I smiled. Time is something I can afford. Then the system displayed another notification. Special offer unlocked. I stopped. What? Host has accumulated sufficient recognized wealth. First lottery draw available. My eyes widened. Finally. The screen expanded. Beginner Multiverse Lottery. Cost 50,000 ryo. Possible rewards. Physical enhancement, chakra enhancement, weapon, skill, potion, passive ability, unknown item. Rare rewards possible. I stared at the button. 50,000 ryo. Every rational part of my brain screamed not to press it. That money could buy food, weapons, training, information. But another part of me knew something. If I remained weak, money alone wouldn't save me. And if the system was truly my greatest advantage, I needed to invest. I took a deep breath. Do it. Lottery spinning. The screen began flashing. Weapons, potions, skills, unknown artifacts. The icon spun faster, faster, faster. Then ding! Everything stopped. A golden light appeared. I stared. The reward slowly materialized. Congratulations. You have obtained physical enhancement potion. Effect permanently increases physical attributes by a small amount. I blinked. Minor? I looked at the empty balance. 800 ryo, then at the potion. System! You're really stingy! The system considers this fair market value. I sighed. Still, a permanent physical enhancement was valuable. I uncorked the bottle. The liquid inside was clear. I drank it. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, boom! My heartbeat accelerated. Heat spread through my chest. My muscles tightened. Every nerve in my body seemed to wake up. I dropped to one knee. Ah! The sensation lasted only several seconds, then disappeared. I stood. My body felt different. Not dramatically, but enough. Sharper, lighter, stronger. I clenched my fist. This was only the beginning. I looked toward the darkening sky. Somewhere beyond those clouds were Akatsuki members. Missing Nin, Biju, Orochimaru, Madara, Kaguya. Enemies I couldn't even imagine fighting. And beside them stood a future where Sasuke would walk into darkness. I couldn't stop all of that today. I couldn't even save myself today. But I could build. Money, power, connections, trust, one step at a time. I looked toward the academy. Tomorrow I would meet Naruto. Soon after the others. And Sasuke. And I would stay beside you, not as someone trying to control his destiny, as a friend, because changing someone's fate didn't always begin with a legendary battle. Sometimes it began with sitting beneath a tree, saying nothing, and simply coming back the next day. An objective updated: build sufficient power and wealth to survive the coming shinobi era. Secondary objective: establish genuine bonds with the future Konoha 12. Hidden objective: change Sasuke Uchiha's fate. System note: the Multiverse Lottery is waiting. The host's wallet is not. I stared at the final line, then laughed. Fine. Chapter 3: The Loudest Boy in the Academy. The next morning, Rohit arrived at the academy earlier than usual. He had barely slept, not because of excitement, because his mind had spent the entire night calculating. 50,800 Rio had become 800 Rio, one lottery draw, one minor physical enhancement potion. That was all. The potion had definitely improved his body. His movements felt sharper, his muscles responded faster, and his stamina seemed... Chapter 3: The Loudest Boy in the Academy. The next morning, Rohit arrived at the academy earlier than usual. He had barely slept, not because of excitement, because his mind had spent the entire night calculating. 50,800 Rio had become 800 Rio, one lottery draw, one minor physical enhancement potion. That was all. The potion had definitely improved his body. His movements felt sharper, his muscles responded faster, and his stamina seemed slightly better. But the system had taught him an important lesson. Power was expensive, and if he wanted to survive in this world, he couldn't depend on luck alone. He needed money, a lot of it. 10 million for a random devil fruit, Rohit muttered while walking toward the academy. 100 million for some revivals, he sighed. And the system expects me to become rich with 800 Ryo. A voice suddenly came from behind him. Who are you talking to? Rohit nearly jumped. He turned. A blonde-haired boy stood behind him. Orange jumpsuit, blue eyes, 3 whisker-like marks on each cheek. Rohit's eyes widened. Naruto Uzumaki. For a second his brain simply stopped working. The boy looked at him suspiciously. Why are you staring at me? Rohit recovered quickly. Nothing. Naruto narrowed his eyes. You were definitely staring. I was thinking. About me, unfortunately. Naruto's face twisted. What does that mean? Rohit smiled. It means you're loud. Naruto froze, then pointed at himself. Me? Yes. I haven't even said anything. You've already said 6 things. Naruto counted on his fingers. That's not loud. Rohit laughed. Naruto immediately looked offended. What's your name? Rohit. I'm Naruto. I know. Naruto's expression changed. You know me? Rohit realized his mistake. You're famous. Naruto immediately grinned. Really? Not necessarily for good reasons. The grin disappeared. Hey! Rohit laughed again. For a moment it felt strangely normal. 2 academy students arguing on the way to class. But Rohit knew the truth. This boy, standing in front of him, would one day save the entire world. And right now, he was lonely, just like Sasuke. Rohit looked at Naruto carefully. The villagers avoided him, the children mocked him, the adults whispered about him, and yet Naruto still smiled. That resilience was one of the reasons Rohit admired him. So, Naruto asked, are you strong? No, Naruto blinked. Really? Really? Then I'll beat you! Rohit raised an eyebrow. Why? Because I'm going to become the strongest ninja in the village. Rohit stared at him, then smiled. Good goal. Naruto looked surprised. You don't think it's stupid? No. Rohit continued walking. I think you're going to need a lot of work. Naruto's eyes lit up. Then train with me. Rohit stopped. Why? Because you don't laugh at me. That answer caught him off guard. Naruto scratched his cheek. Everyone else does. Rohit's expression softened. Fine. Naruto grinned. Really? 3 days a week. Every day! No, every day. Absolutely not. Naruto followed him toward the academy. Come on, please! No, you're my training partner now. I never agreed to that. You did! I absolutely didn't. Their argument continued all the way to the classroom. Neither noticed Sasuke standing near the entrance. He watched them silently, especially Rohit. Then he looked away. The academy class was noisy. Iruka-sensei eventually entered and slammed a stack of papers onto the desk. Everyone settled down. The room gradually became quiet. Rohit sat toward the middle. Naruto was several seats away. Sasuke sat near the window. Rohit noticed something immediately. Sasuke hadn't spoken to anyone. Not once. He was surrounded by classmates but completely isolated. Iruka began explaining the day's lessons. Chakra control, transformation, basic combat theory. Rohit listened carefully. He wasn't naturally talented. That was exactly why he needed knowledge. During practical training, students were asked to perform a basic transformation. One after another they stepped forward. Haruno Sakura, perfect. Inuzuka Kiba, decent. Nara Shikamaru, lazy but acceptable. Uchiha Sasuke. The room became noticeably quieter. Sasuke walked forward. Hands formed the seal. Transformation jutsu! Poof! Perfect! Several students gasped. Sakura smiled. Ino looked impressed. Kiba clicked his tongue. Sasuke returned to his seat without saying anything. Then Uzumaki Naruto. Naruto walked forward confidently. He formed the transformation! Poof! A horrifying, distorted version of Iruka appeared. Silence. Then the class exploded with laughter. Naruto's face turned red. Iruka sighed. Naruto? Naruto lowered his head. Rohit noticed his hands trembling. He wanted to help, but not yet. If he suddenly defended Naruto in front of everyone, Naruto might become dependent on him for validation. Rohit waited. After class, Naruto sat alone behind the academy. Rohit found him there. You okay? Naruto kicked a pebble. I'm fine. You're terrible at lying. Naruto looked up. I'll get better. Rohit sat beside him. Good. Naruto frowned. You're weird. So I've heard. A moment passed. Then Rohit said quietly, You failed one technique. Naruto looked at him. So? So nothing. Rohit shrugged. You can practice. Naruto stared. That's it. That's it. What if I fail again? Practice again. What if I fail 10 times? Practice 11. Naruto's eyes slowly widened. Rohit smiled. That's how you win. Naruto suddenly grinned. You're right. He jumped up. I'm going to practice. He ran away. Rohit watched him disappear, then shook his head. That kid has way too much energy.
Relationship detected, not relationship. Queenster.
Potential extremely high. Potent smiled. One down. A shadow suddenly fell over him. He looked up. Shikamaru Nara stood there, hands in his pockets. Lazy expression. You're troublesome. Rohit blinked. I didn't do anything. Shikamaru looked toward where Naruto had disappeared. You made him excited. Is that bad? Usually. Shikamaru yawned. But, he glanced at Rohit. Maybe not this time. Then he walked away. Rohit stared after him. That guy notices everything. Target, current relationship. Rohit smiled. This is going better than expected. Chapter 4. The first real opportunity. 3 weeks passed. Rohit's life developed a routine. Academy during the day, training in the afternoon, business research at night. And whenever possible, Sasuke. Not constantly, not desperately, just consistently. Sometimes they trained together, sometimes they sat silently, sometimes Sasuke corrected Rohit's throwing technique, sometimes Rohit corrected Sasuke's stance. Their friendship grew slowly, almost invisibly. One afternoon, Sasuke looked at Rohit while they were cleaning their kunai. Why do you keep doing this? Rohit looked up. Doing what? Coming here. Because I like training. That's not what I mean. Rohit understood. Sasuke wasn't asking about training. He was asking why someone would willingly stay around him. Rohit thought for a moment. Because I don't need a reason. Sasuke frowned. Everyone wants something. Maybe. Rohit shrugged. But I don't. Sasuke looked away. You're strange. You've said that before. A tiny smile appeared on Sasuke's face. This time, Rohit saw it clearly. Then Sasuke's expression became serious. Do you want to become strong? Rohit nodded. Very. Why? Rohit looked toward the Hokage monument in the distance. Because weak people can't protect anything. Sasuke's eyes sharpened. Protect? Yeah. Rohit stood. That's my reason. Sasuke remained silent, but the answer stayed with him. A business breakthrough that evening. Rohit visited the merchant who had purchased his field ration idea. The elderly man was smiling. You're late. Why? The merchant threw a document onto the table. Because your little invention is selling. Rohit's eyes widened. How much? Enough that I'm reconsidering our agreement. Rohit picked up the document. The numbers made his eyes widen. The product had expanded into 3 nearby supply stores. Monthly sales were growing. His 10% share wasn't enormous yet, but it was becoming stable income. Then the merchant leaned forward. There's something else. What? A shinobi supply company wants to buy the preservation method. Rohit became serious. How much? 20,000 Rio. Rohit shook his head. Too low. The merchant smiled. I thought you'd say that. He slid another paper across the table. Then there's their second offer. Rohit read it. His eyes widened. 120,000 Rio. For exclusive rights. For 3 years. He leaned back. That was serious money. But selling exclusive rights would eliminate future profits. He calculated quickly. 3 years of 10% revenue could potentially exceed that amount. But he needed capital now. He looked at the merchant. Can I counter? Of course. Rohit took the pen. 70,000 up front. The merchant raised an eyebrow. That's less than their offer. With a 15% profit share. The merchant stared at him, then laughed. You really are greedy. Strategic. Same thing. Rohit smiled. They negotiated for almost an hour. Eventually, the final agreement was reached. 80,000 Ryo up front. 10% profit share. Rohit walked out of the shop with a heavy pouch. Current balance, 80,000 and... Rohit's eyes lit up. Finally! He had enough for another lottery draw, but he stopped. The previous draw had taught him something. He couldn't burn every coin chasing random rewards. He needed infrastructure, weapons, training, food, information, and eventually, a proper business. He looked at the system. Can you tell me something? Ask. Can I use Ryo to buy ninja scrolls? Can I sell ninja scrolls? Rohit's eyes narrowed. Then I know what I'm doing next. The system remained silent. Rohit smiled. Information arbitrage. He had no powerful clan, no legendary teacher, no bloodline. But he had something the people of this world didn't. Knowledge of another world. He knew which techniques were valuable. He knew what ordinary people ignored, and he knew the future. He only needed to be careful. One wrong move could expose him. That night, Rohit returned home. He placed the money on the table, 80,800 Ryo. Then he opened a notebook. At the top, he wrote, Ha Project, Become Rich. Under it, 1 food business, 2 medical supplies, 3 ninja equipment, 4 information network, 5 mission earnings, 6 system lottery. Then he added another line. 7, protect Sasuke. He stared at the page. Step by step, a knock came at the door. Rohit froze. Nobody visited him. He slowly reached for his kunai. Another knock. He approached the door. Who is it? A familiar voice answered. Me. Rohit opened the door. Sasuke stood-eyed. His expression was unusually serious. What's wrong? Sasuke looked around, then said quietly, I want to train. Rohit blinked. Now? Yes. Why? Sasuke clenched his fist. Because I'm weak. Rohit's expression changed. He knew exactly where this was going. Sasuke's obsession with strength had already begun. The path toward revenge had already been carved into his heart. Rohit stepped aside. Come in. Sasuke looked surprised. I have some training notes. What kind? Chakra control. Sasuke's eyes sharpened. Teach me. Rohit smiled. Okay. He closed the door. Outside, Konoha slept peacefully. Inside, 2 boys began their first serious training session. Neither knew how far that decision would eventually take them. And somewhere inside Rohit's mind, the system quietly displayed a new notification. Hidden condition fulfilled. Genuine bond with Sasuke Uchiha detected. Special reward pathway unlocked. Requirement for next reward. Accumulate 500,000 Rio or obtain 1 B-rank ninja scroll. Rohit stared at the notification, then smiled. 500,000? He cracked his knuckles. Fine. Let's make some money. Chapter 5. The first investment. The next morning, Rohit woke before sunrise. For the first time since arriving in this world, he didn't feel completely helpless. He still had only average chakra. He still had no clan. He still possessed no famous technique. But he had something more important. A direction. He opened his notebook. Open quote. Current assets. Money 80 as 800. Ryo chakra, average physical strength, slightly enhanced academy rank. Student business. Field ration preservation method, connections, Naruto, Sasuke, Shikamaru. System, multiverse lottery. Next target, 500,000, Ryo, close quote. Rohit stared at the number. 500,000? That was more than 6 times his current wealth. And the system wasn't going to make it easy. He closed the notebook. Then I need to stop thinking like an academy student. He needed to think like a businessman.
The training ground.
After classes... Rohit arrived at Training Ground 3. Sasuke was already there. He was throwing kunai. 1, 2, 3. All 3 struck the target. Rohit watched silently. Sasuke threw another. Miss, his expression darkened. Again, miss, again, miss, finally spoke. You're rushing. Sasuke glanced at him. I'm not. Not. You are. Sasuke frowned. Show me. Rohit walked over. He picked up a kunai. Your arm is fine. He pointed Sasuke's feet. Your problem is here. My feet? You're shifting your weight too early. Sasuke looked down. Rohit demonstrated. When you throw, don't move your center of gravity until after release. Sasuke watched carefully. Rohit threw. Thunk. The kunai struck near the center. Sasuke immediately tried it. Thunk. Better. He tried again. Thunk. Again. Perfect. Sasuke stared at the target, then at Rohit. How did you know? Rohit shrugged. I watched you. Sasuke looked thoughtful. Then you're getting better. Rohit smiled. So are you. They continued training. Neither noticed Naruto hiding behind a tree. Naruto suddenly jumped out. Wait! Both boys turned. Naruto pointed dramatically. You're training without me. Sasuke frowned. Why would we train with you? Because I'm going to become Hokage. Rohit sighed. Here we go again. Naruto walked toward them. I can do more than you think. Sasuke looked at him. Prove it. Naruto froze. What? Sasuke pointed toward the practice field. 100 kunai throws. Naruto grinned. Easy. 5 minutes later. Clang. Naruto's kunai missed the target completely. Sasuke sighed. Rohit covered his face. You're starting with 10. Naruto shouted.
I knew that! 3 boys.
For the next hour, the three trained together. Sasuke was precise, Naruto was chaotic, Rohit was somewhere in between, but something strange happened. They began learning from one another. Sasuke showed Naruto how to hold a kunai properly. Naruto forced Sasuke to run faster because he refused to slow down. Rohit corrected both. By sunset, Naruto was exhausted. He collapsed onto the grass. Why is training so hard? Sasuke looked down at him. Because you're weak. Naruto immediately jumped up. What did you say? Rohit laughed. The argument continued, and for the first time in days, Sasuke laughed too. It was barely audible, but it was real. Rohit noticed. He didn't say anything. Some moments were better left untouched. Chapter 6. The Mission That Changed Everything. The next week, Rohit received an unexpected opportunity. A temporary mission notice appeared at the academy. It wasn't a normal student exercise. A local merchant association needed young shinobi assistants for a supply transport. The mission was officially D rank. The pay was only 2,000 ryo. Most students ignored it. Rohit didn't. He immediately signed up. The supervising Chunin looked at him. Why this mission? Money. The Chunin blinked. At least you're honest. Rohit smiled. I have expenses. The mission itself seemed boring. Transport medicine and food from one warehouse to another. No combat, no missing nin, no danger. Exactly what Rohit wanted. He inspected the cargo, then stopped. These seals are wrong. The merchant looked confused. What? Rohit pointed toward the crates. Your sealing tags are damaged. The merchant frowned. They're fine. No. Rohit crouched. Look here. A tiny crack ran through one of the seals. The merchant's face changed. That's impossible. Rohit examined another. Another damaged seal. Then another. His expression became serious. Someone has been opening these crates. The supervising Chunin immediately became alert. Everyone stop. The area went silent. The Chunin inspected the crates. His expression hardened. He's right. The merchant swallowed. Someone is stealing from us? Possibly. Rohit looked around. The warehouse was large. Too large. There were multiple exits, several workers, and no obvious signs of forced entry. He thought, then looked toward the ceiling. Check the rafters. The Chunin jumped up. A moment later, found something. A small metal wire was hidden between the beams. The Chunin pulled it down. Attached to the wire was a tiny storage seal. Rohit's eyes narrowed. Someone has been moving the medicine through the ceiling. The merchant stared. How? Rohit pointed toward a narrow ventilation passage. There. The Chunin examined it. Interesting. The mission suddenly became much more serious. The culprit was eventually discovered. 2 warehouse workers. They had been stealing expensive medicine for weeks. The merchant was furious, but then he looked at Rohit. You? Rohit turned. Yes? You saved me a fortune. The merchant reached into his coat. Here. A pouch landed in Rohit's hand. He opened it. 30,000 ryo. His eyes widened. This is too much. It's not. The merchant smiled. You're going to be a rich man someday. Rohit laughed. I hope so. Current balance, 110, 800. Rohit smiled. Still far from 500,000, but progress. Then the supervising Chunin approached. You have good observation skills. Thank you. Have you considered becoming a specialist? Specialist? Tracking, logistics, intelligence. The Chunin crossed his arms. You're not the strongest student, but you notice things other people miss. Rohit remained silent. That was useful information. A civilian shinobi didn't need to become a monster immediately. He could build a career around something valuable. Information, logistics, trade, mission planning. He smiled. Maybe I will. The scroll that evening, Rohit returned home. A notification appeared. Achievement unlocked. First profitable mission, reward 1 random C-rank ninja scroll. Rohit's eyes widened. Free? Yes. A scroll appeared in his hand. He opened it. C-rank technique, body flicker. Rohit's eyes lit up. Body flicker? This wasn't the legendary version. It was a basic C-rank movement technique. Still, it was incredibly useful. Speed was life. And now he had a legitimate shinobi technique. He immediately began studying. For the next 3 hours, he practiced chakra control. Again. Again, his body stumbled repeatedly, but slowly, his movement became faster, cleaner, more efficient. He disappeared for half a second, then reappeared several meters away. Rohit stared at his hands. I can actually use it. Skill proficiency 8%, only 8%? Correct. Rohit sighed. Fine. He trained again. The following morning, Rohit arrived at the academy. Naruto immediately ran toward him. Rohit! Rohit covered his ears. What? Come with me!
Where?
I found something! Naruto grabbed his arm. Rohit nearly fell. Slow down! They ran behind the academy. Sasuke was already waiting. What happened? Naruto pointed toward a forest path. I found a strange training area. Sasuke frowned. Where? Naruto grinned. Follow me. Rohit immediately became suspicious. Naruto? What? Whenever you say that, something goes wrong. Naruto laughed. It'll be fine, Sasuke sighed. Let's go. The 3 boys disappeared into the trees. None of them noticed the figure watching them from a distant rooftop. A masked ambush shinobi. The figure remained motionless, watching, analyzing, then quietly disappeared. Deep inside the forest, Naruto suddenly stopped.
Here!
Rohit looked around. An abandoned training ground, old targets, broken wooden posts, a faded stone marker. Sasuke examined the area. Why would anyone train here? Naruto shrugged. I don't know. Rohit walked toward the stone marker. Something felt wrong. There was a symbol carved into it, a spiral. His eyes narrowed. Uzumaki, he looked at Naruto, then at the abandoned area, then at the symbol again. Naruto? What? Rohit crouched beside the marker. This place might be important. Before Naruto could answer, boom! An explosion erupted behind them. All 3 boys spun around. Smoke filled the training ground. A voice emerged from within it. Well, looks like we have some unexpected guests. Rohit's expression changed. His hand moved toward his kunai. Sasuke immediately stepped forward. Naruto clenched his fists. The smoke slowly cleared. 3 men stood among the trees. Not academy students. Not civilians. Shinobi. And their headbands were scratched, missing nin. Rohit's heartbeat accelerated. Host has survival probability 61%. Rohit swallowed. The system had never shown him a number like that before. The man in front smiled. Which one of you is the Uchiha? Sasuke's eyes narrowed. Rohit's blood ran cold. They weren't here by accident. Someone had sent them. And they knew exactly who Sasuke was. Rohit slowly stepped forward. That's a problem, the missing nin laughed. Why? Rohit pulled out his kunai. Because you're going to have to get through me first. Protect Sasuke Uchiha. Bonus condition, no fatal injuries to Sasuke. Failure consequence, relationship damage, unknown future deviation. Rohit's grip tightened. He had wanted to become stronger. He had wanted money. He had wanted time. But now... Chapter 7. 3 against 3. The forest suddenly felt too quiet. Rohit tightened his grip around the kunai. 3 missing nins stood several meters away. Their clothes were worn. Their forehead protectors had been scratched across the village symbol. The man in front was tall and broad-shouldered. The other 2 stood behind him. One carried a short sword. The other had wire wrapped around both wrists. Rohit's eyes moved between them. 3 enemies. 3 of them. Naruto. Sasuke. Himself. Not exactly an ideal matchup. The tall man smiled. Which one is the Uchiha? Sasuke stepped forward. I am. Rohit's eyes narrowed. Sasuke, don't! Sasuke ignored him. The missing nin laughed. Good, he pulled a kunai. That makes things easy. He disappeared! Whoosh! Down! Rohit shoved Sasuke aside. Clang! The attacker's kunai struck Rohit's own. The force sent him sliding backward. His feet dug into the dirt. Damn, the man's strength was much higher than his. Rohit immediately understood. He couldn't fight this guy head on. The attacker grinned. Not bad. Rohit didn't answer. His eyes scanned the battlefield. 3 enemies, dense forest, uneven ground, old training equipment, a narrow stream nearby, broken trees. And Naruto. Rohit's eyes moved toward him. Naruto was standing frozen. He had never fought real shinobi before. Sasuke! Sasuke immediately understood. He moved. Shing! His kunai flew toward the enemy. The missing nin blocked it. Annoying brat. Sasuke threw another, then another. The enemy retreated. Rohit took advantage. Naruto! What? Tree! Naruto looked confused. Climb! Naruto immediately ran toward the nearest tree. The missing nin laughed. What's that idiot doing? Rohit smiled. Exactly what I wanted. He formed a hand seal. Body flicker. His body disappeared. The missing nin's eyes widened. What? Rohit appeared behind him. Not close enough to attack. Just close enough to distract him. The man turned. That was enough. Sasuke struck. Clang! His kunai cut the man's sleeve. A small line of blood appeared. Sasuke's eyes sharpened. The missing nin stared at the blood, then smiled. You've got some talent. Sasuke didn't respond. Rohit landed beside him. Don't fight for kills. Sasuke frowned. Why? Because we're not strong enough. Sasuke's jaw tightened. I can beat him. I know. Rohit looked at him. But surviving is more important. Sasuke stared at him, then nodded. It was a small thing, but it mattered. The second enemy. A wire suddenly flashed through the trees. Rohit ducked. The wire sliced through the branch above him. Crack! The branch fell. Rohit rolled away. The second missing nin appeared. You're the annoying one. Rohit looked at him. Thanks, the man attacked. Rohit blocked. Once, twice, 3 times. The enemy was faster. Rohit stepped backward. His arms began to ache. He needed an opening. He glanced at Naruto. Naruto was still on the tree. Then Rohit got an idea. Naruto!
Yeah!
Can you make clones? Naruto looked embarrassed. Sort of. Then do it. Naruto formed a seal. Shadow clone jutsu! Poof! 1 clone appeared, then another, then another. Rohit stared. 3 clones. Not impressive by Naruto's future standards, but enough. Perfect! The clones charged. The missing nin looked confused. What are these? 1 clone attacked. The man punched it. Poof! Smoke. The man's expression changed. Clone. Another clone attacked. He dodged. 3rd. 4th. Suddenly, Rohit appeared behind him. Body flicker. He kicked the man's knee. The enemy stumbled. Naruto's original body charged from the opposite direction. Now! Sasuke understood immediately. He threw a kunai. The enemy barely dodged, but the kunai wasn't aimed at him. It struck the wire wrapped around his wrist. Clang! The wire snapped. The man froze. Rohit smiled. Got you. Naruto's clone tackled him. The enemy fell. Sasuke immediately pinned his arm. Rohit tied him with the remaining wire. 3 seconds later, the second missing nin was restrained. Naruto stared. We did it! Rohit shook his head. 1 down. The tall man looked at them. His smile had disappeared. You little brats!
I'm the leader!
The leader's killing intent suddenly exploded. Naruto froze. His body trembled. Sasuke's eyes widened. Rohit's heartbeat accelerated. This wasn't an academy exercise. This was real. The man slowly raised his sword. You've wasted enough of my time. Rohit knew they couldn't win, not directly, so he changed the objective. Don't defeat him. Escape. He looked toward the stream, then the old training equipment, then the trees. A plan formed. Sasuke. What? Can you use fire release? Sasuke's eyes widened. Yes. Rohit pointed toward the forest. Don't attack him. Sasuke frowned. Then what? Burn the ground. Sasuke understood. He formed hand seals. Fire style. Fireball jutsu. Whoom! A large fireball erupted. The leader jumped away. The flames spread across the dry leaves. Smoke immediately filled the battlefield. Rohit grabbed Naruto. Run! Naruto protested. But Sasuke! He's coming! Sasuke sprinted after them. The leader emerged from the smoke. Don't run! He chased them. Rohit smiled. Exactly as planned, they ran toward the stream. The forest became denser. The leader gained on them. Too fast. Rohit looked back. 10 meters. 8. 6. He formed a seal. Body flicker. He disappeared, reappeared beside a tree, then immediately kicked a loose support beam. The old training structure collapsed. Boom! The leader jumped backward. Rohit shouted, Now! Naruto and Sasuke jumped into the stream. Rohit followed. The three disappeared beneath the water. The leader stopped at the edge. He couldn't see them. He cursed. 10 minutes later, the three boys crawled out of the water several hundred meters away. Naruto collapsed. I hate water. Sasuke ignored him. He looked at Rohit. How did you know that would work? I didn't. Sasuke stared. You guessed? Pretty much. Naruto sat up. You guessed? Guessed? Rohit shrugged. Work, didn't it? Naruto stared at him. You're insane. Probably. Sasuke looked toward the forest. They're still alive. Yes. Will they come after us? Rohit nodded. Probably. Naruto's face fell. Then what do we do? Rohit looked toward Konoha. We report everything. Sasuke nodded. For once, he didn't argue. Chapter 8. A Name Worth Remembering. The three returned to Konoha before sunset. The moment they reached the village gates, the guards noticed something was wrong. Their clothes were soaked. Naruto had scratches across his face. Sasuke had blood on his sleeve. Rohit's arm was bruised. One of the guards immediately approached. What happened? Rohit answered calmly. 3 missing nin attacked us. The guard's expression changed. Where? Training ground. How many? 3. The guards exchanged glances. One immediately sent a message toward the Hokage Tower. Within minutes, a group of shinobi arrived. A jonin knelt before them. Tell me everything. Rohit explained. He didn't exaggerate. He didn't hide anything. He described their clothing, their weapons, their abilities, their approximate chakra levels, their escape route, their likely objective. The jonin listened carefully, then asked, How did you know how to retreat? Rohit hesitated. Instinct. The jonin stared at him. Instinct? Rohit nodded. The jonin looked unconvinced, but didn't push. That evening, Rohit, Naruto, and Sasuke were brought before the third Hokage, Hiruzen Sarutobi. The old man sat behind his desk. His eyes moved from Naruto to Sasuke, then finally to Rohit. So, he sighed, 3 academy students encountered missing 9. Nobody spoke. Hiruzen looked at Sasuke. Are you injured? No. Naruto? I'm fine. Rohit? My arm hurts. Hiruzen smiled slightly. At least one of you is honest. Naruto looked offended. I am honest, Rohit almost laughed. Hiruzen's expression became serious. These men were not ordinary criminals. Rohit remained silent. The investigation team found traces of their presence. Hiruzen looked at him. You made the correct decision. Which one? Running. Rohit blinked. Hiruzen smiled. Many young shinobi believe retreat is cowardice. He leaned back. Knowing when you cannot win is one of the most important skills a shinobi can possess. Rohit nodded. Thank you. Hiruzen's gaze remained on him. You also used a movement technique. Body flicker. Who taught you? Rohit paused. I studied it myself. Hiruzen's eyes sharpened slightly. Interesting. Rohit immediately knew he had attracted attention. He lowered his head. I just practiced a lot. Hiruzen didn't question him further. Instead, he looked towards Sasuke. Your actions were also impressive. Sasuke said nothing. Then Hiruzen turned toward Naruto. And you? Naruto straightened. Yes, you protected your friends. Naruto's face lit up. Really? Hiruzen smiled. Yes. Naruto grinned. Rohit looked at Sasuke. Sasuke was staring at the floor, but there was something different in his eyes. For a brief moment, he didn't look completely alone. The next day, a message arrived. The mission incident had been officially classified. Because the 3 academy students had provided critical information that helped locate the missing 9's trail, they were given a special commendation. 25,000 ryo. His eyes nearly popped out. Her current balance! 135,000 ryo. Rohit stared at the system. Not bad. Then another notification appeared. Achievement: survive first shinobi encounter. Reward: 1 C-rank ninja scroll. Rohit opened it. A technique appeared. Wind release, wind blade. Rohit's eyes widened. Wind release. That was valuable. He immediately began planning. Wind release could be used with weapons. Combined with his movement technique, his combat ability could increase significantly. He carefully stored the scroll. Not now. He needed to master body flicker first. The rooftop that evening. Rohit sat on the academy roof. Sasuke appeared beside him. You didn't tell me. Tell you what? That you were planning to run. Rohit smiled. I didn't know if we'd need to. Sasuke looked at him. You protected me. Rohit shrugged. You were standing next to me. That's not an answer. Rohit became quiet, then said, You're my friend. Sasuke's expression froze. Friend. The word seemed unfamiliar. He looked toward the village. After a long silence, he asked, Do you really think we're friends? Rohit smiled. Yes! Sasuke didn't answer. But he didn't leave either. They sat there together, two boys staring at the sunset, one carrying grief, the other carrying knowledge of future that should never have existed. Neither spoke for several minutes. Then Sasuke quietly said, "Thank you." Rohit looked at him. It was the first time Sasuke had ever said it. Rohit smiled. "Any time."
Relationship update!
Sasuke Uchiha, previous, acquaintance, current friend. Special condition fulfilled. Genuine friendship established. Ha! Choose one. A. 100,000 Ryo. B. 1 random C-rank ninja scroll. C. 1 random low-level passive skill. Rohit stared at the choices, his eyes narrowed. Now that's a difficult decision. Money would take him closer to 500,000. The scroll could provide a powerful technique. The passive skill could potentially become priceless. He smiled. For once, I actually have options. But before he could choose, build the Konoha 4 friendship network targets. Naruto Uzumaki, Sasuke Uchiha, Shikamaru Nara, Sakura Haruno. One-time system discount, 20 hidden reward. Unknown Rohit's eyes widened. 20%? That could potentially reduce a 10 million Ryo Devil Fruit to 8 million, or make a powerful system reward considerably cheaper. His smile became wider. Now we're talking. He looked toward the academy. Time to make some friends. And somewhere far away, a pair of dark eyes watched Konoha from the shadows. The future had already begun to change, and someone had started noticing. Haber Chapter 9, the 4-person strategy. Rohit stared at the 3 rewards: 100,000 Ryo, random C-rank ninja scroll, random passive skill. His fingers tapped against the rooftop. Money was tempting, very tempting. With 100,000 Ryo, his balance would jump to 230,800. That was almost halfway to the system's next major threshold. But Rohit had learned something during the fight with the missing nin. Money could buy power, but skills created opportunities to make more money. He looked at the third option, passive skill. Confirm selection? Rohit took a breath. Yes. Select generating random passive skill. The system screen flickered. For several seconds, nothing happened. Then, passive skill acquired. Rohit blinked. Enhanced learning? Effect: learning speed is permanently increased by 15%. Improves retention, understanding, and practical adaptation. Rohit's expression slowly changed. A smile appeared. That's... He couldn't finish the sentence. This wasn't flashy. It didn't create explosions. It didn't give him an enormous chakra reserve. But for someone starting from nothing, it might be one of the most valuable abilities possible. He immediately understood the long-term value. If it took an ordinary shinobi 10 days to master something, he might need 8 or 9. If someone needed 10 repetitions, he might need 7 or 8. And unlike a temporary power-up, this would remain with him forever. System recommendation: invest in knowledge. Rohit laughed. Don't worry, I'm planning to. The next target. The next morning, Rohit opened his notebook. Konoha. 4-1 Sasuke friend, 2 Naruto friend, 3 Shikamaru acquaintance, 4th unknown. Rohit stared at the last name. Sakura is going to be difficult. Not because Sakura was unfriendly. She wasn't. The problem was timing. At this age, Sakura was heavily focused on Sasuke. If Rohit suddenly became too friendly with her, it could look suspicious. So he needed a natural reason. And he found one during class. Iruka announced an upcoming written examination. The room immediately filled with complaints. Naruto looked horrified. A written test! Iruka sighed. Yes! Naruto turned toward Rohit. Help me! Rohit looked at him. With what? Everything. No! Please! No! Naruto grabbed his shoulder. You're my friend! Rohit stared at him. That's emotional blackmail. It works, Rohit sighed. Fine. From the corner of the classroom, Sakura looked over. You study with Naruto? Sometimes. She looked surprised. He's terrible at studying. I know! Naruto shouted. I can hear you! Sakura laughed. Rohit smiled. Then she asked, Can I study with you too? Rohit paused. This was unexpected. Sure. Naruto looked betrayed. Why does Sakura get to join? Because she asked politely. I asked. You demanded. Naruto crossed his arms. Same thing. Shikamaru, sitting nearby, sighed. Troublesome. Chapter 10. The beginning of the Konoha 4. The study session took place after school. 4 students sat around a wooden table. Rohit, Naruto, Sakura, Shikamaru. Shikamaru had initially refused. Then Sakura told him the test was mandatory. He came. I'm only here because failing sounds troublesome. Rohit smiled. That's the most Shikamaru reason possible. Shikamaru glanced at him. You understand me. I understand laziness. Same thing. Naruto dropped his forehead onto the table. I don't understand any of this. Sakura looked at his notes. Because your handwriting is terrible. It's not terrible. It looks like a chicken walked through ink. Rohit laughed. Naruto glared. Stop laughing. Sorry, he wasn't sorry. Sakura began explaining the chakra system. Naruto listened for approximately 30 seconds. Then his eyes wandered toward the window. Rohit snapped his fingers. Naruto. Huh? Chakra. Oh, focus. Right. 5 minutes later, Naruto was distracted again. Rohit sighed. Ohit sighed. Okay, new strategy. Naruto looked up. What? We turned studying into a competition. Sakura raised an eyebrow. A competition? Rohit nodded. Whoever answers the most questions correctly wins. Naruto's eyes lit up. What's the prize? Rohit thought. Winner gets dinner. Naruto slammed both hands on the table. Yes! Sakura smiled. Shikamaru sighed. This is troublesome, but he didn't leave. 2 hours later, the competition became surprisingly intense. Sakura dominated the theoretical questions. Shikamaru answered difficult strategic questions without even looking interested. Rohit remained consistent. Naruto struggled, but he didn't quit. That mattered. By the end, Sakura won. Naruto came last. He stared at the results. I lost. Sakura looked uncomfortable. It's okay. No. Naruto clenched his fists. I'll beat you next time. Sakura smiled. Sure. Rohit looked at Naruto. He could see it. The frustration, but also the determination. This was how it started. Tiny competitions, small victories, friendships that would eventually become something much larger. Sakura's question. After Naruto and Shikamaru left, Sakura remained behind. She looked at Rohit. Can I ask you something? Sure. Why are you always around Sasuke? Rohit expected this. He is my friend. Sakura looked down. Do you think he'll... She hesitated. Become normal again? Rohit knew what she meant. The massacre. The trauma, the coldness. He chose his words carefully. I don't know. Sakura looked disappointed, but, Rohit continued, I think people can change. She looked at him. Even Sasuke? Especially Sasuke. Sakura was quiet, then she smiled. I hope you're right. Rohit nodded. So do I. The first team a week passed. The written examination arrived. Naruto struggled again, but something had changed. He had studied. He actually knew some answers. When the results were announced, Naruto passed. Barely. But he passed. He stared at the paper. I passed. Rohit smiled. Sakura clapped. Shikamaru yawned. Congratulations. Naruto suddenly grabbed Rohit's shoulders. I passed. You did. Because of you. Rohit shook his head. No. Naruto blinked. You did the work. Naruto smiled. For a moment, Rohit felt something strange. This is no notification, no reward, no money, no item. But somehow, this felt better than a lottery draw. Naruto Uzumaki, current. Friend Sakura Haruno, current. Friend Kamaruna, friend Shikamaru Nara. Konoha 4 Friendship Network 444 unlocked. 20% discount on one multiverse system purchase. Additional reward. 100,000 Ryo Rohit's eyes widened. Wait! Reward received! Current balance 235,000. He almost laughed. The system had finally started paying him properly, but then another notification appeared. Special shp update. One-time Devil Fruit System. Original cost 10,000 Ryo plus 1 C-rank Ninja Scroll. Friendship discount 20%. New cost 8,000 Ryos 1 C-rank Ninja Scroll. Rohit's smile disappeared. 8 million. He stared at the number. Still ridiculously expensive. But now it didn't feel impossible. He had gone from 3,800 Ryo to 235,800. He had built a business. He had started earning mission rewards. He had established friendships. And most importantly, he had a path. Rohit closed the system. 8 million, he smiled. I'll get there. The Academy graduation notice. The next morning, Iruka entered the classroom carrying several documents. Everyone listened carefully. The class became quiet. Graduation examinations will begin soon. Naruto immediately panicked. What? Already? Sakura smiled. Sasuke remained silent. Rohit stared at the board. The timeline was moving. Graduation, Genin teams, Team 7, Zabuza, the Chunin exams, Orochimaru, the invasion. Everything he remembered was approaching, but this time, things were different. Naruto had friends, Sasuke had someone he trusted, Sakura had someone encouraging her, Shikamaru had begun taking Rohit's advice seriously, and Rohit himself had a system. The future wasn't fixed anymore. That realization both excited and frightened him. That evening, Rohit was walking home when he noticed something, a shadow on a rooftop. He stopped, the shadow disappeared, Rohit's eyes narrowed. Someone had been following him. He continued walking. Turned left, then right. Nothing. He stopped again. Come out. Silence. Rohit reached for his kunai. I know you're there. A figure finally appeared on a rooftop. An Ambu mask. White, expressionless. Rohit's heart began pounding. The Ambu stared down at him, then spoke. You've been behaving strangely. Rohit's expression remained calm. I don't know what you mean. You've developed an unusual number of connections. The Ambu jumped down, landing several meters away. Your combat ability is increasing faster than expected. Rohit said nothing. And your business activities have attracted attention. His blood ran cold. The Ambu took one step forward. Who are you, Rohit? For the first time since arriving in this world, Rohit didn't have an answer ready. The Ambu stared into his eyes. Because you're beginning to look less like an ordinary civilian. A long silence followed. Then the Ambu disappeared. Rohit stood alone in the street. His expression became serious. Someone was investigating him, and if Konoha had already started asking questions, he needed to become much more careful. He looked toward the Hokage monument, then toward the Uchiha district, then finally at the system. Host's abnormal growth has attracted attention. Recommended action: increase strength, increase wealth, increase secrecy. Rohit slowly smiled. Looks like I'm running out of time. He turned toward home. Then let's speed things up. And far away, inside a dark room, the masked Ambu knelt before someone. Lord Hokage. Hiruzen looked up. What did you discover? The Ambu hesitated. Nothing conclusive. But the Ambu lowered his head. The boy named Rohit. He doesn't feel like an ordinary academy student. Hiruzen's eyes narrowed. Keep watching him. Yes, the candle flame flickered, and somewhere beyond Konoha, the first pieces of a much larger game had begun moving. Chapter 11. The Status of an Ordinary Ninja. The street was empty. Rohit stood beneath the dim light of a lantern, staring at the place where the Ambu had disappeared. His expression remained calm, but inside his thoughts were racing. Someone was watching him. Not because he had done anything wrong, because he was becoming too unusual. His business was growing, his combat ability was improving. He had somehow formed close relationships with several important children. And worst of all, he was changing things. Rohit slowly walked home. The moment he entered his room, he locked the door, then checked the window. Nothing. He closed the curtains. Only then did he sit on his bed. System. Yes, status. The blue screen appeared. Name, Rohit. Age 12, race human. Origin, Naruto world occupation, academy student rank. Academy student. Attributes. Strength 18, agility 20, endurance 17, vitality 18, chakra 21, chakra control 16, perception 19, intelligence 27, willpower 25, luck. Skills: Academy Taijutsu, Basic Academy Shuriken Jutsu, Basic plus Kunai Throwing, Basic plus Chakra Control, Basic Transformation Jutsu, Basic Clone Jutsu, Basic Body Flicker 12% proficiency, Wind Release Windblade Unlearned. Passive skills: Enhanced Learning, Level 1, open quote. Learning speed increased by 15%, close quote. Minor physical enhancement potion, open quote. Permanent physical improvement applied, close quote. Resources: Rio 235,800. Ninja Scrolls, C rank Scrolls 1. Wind Release Wind 1. Friendship points 0. System discount 20%. Sasuke Uchiha, friend Naruto Uzumaki, friend Sakura Haruno, friend Shikamaru Nara, friend. Rohit stared at the screen.
Whoa!
This was the first time he had seen his complete status. He focused on the numbers. Strength 18, he clenched his fist, definitely stronger than before. But chakra 21? He frowned. Is that good? Compared to an average academy student, above average. Rohit nodded. Intelligence 27. He smiled. At least transmigration didn't make me stupid. Intelligence is influenced by previous life knowledge, memory integration, learning ability, and host cognition. That's a complicated way of saying I'm smart. The system did not say that. You're becoming annoying. Rohit ignored it. His eyes moved down, then stopped. Luck, he stared. Why can't you display my luck? Luck is currently classified as an unstable variable. Meaning? The system cannot accurately calculate it. Why? A pause. Unknown. Rohit's smile disappeared. That wasn't a normal system answer. Can you calculate everyone else's luck?
Yes, mine?
Insufficient data. Rohit stared at the screen. Interesting. He mentally marked it. Investigate luck later. Then his eyes moved toward the bottom. Friendship points. The system opened a new panel. Friendship points are generated through genuine emotional bonds. Current friendship points 0. Possible uses. System discount 100 FP 1% discount, 500 FP 5% discount, 1000 FP 10% discount, 5000 FP 20% discount, 10,000 FP 30% discount, maximum standard discount 50%. Special condition. Certain exceptionally deep bonds may generate bonus friendship points. Rohit's eyes immediately lit up. Now we're talking. The system continued. Friendship points cannot directly purchase system rewards. They may be converted into discounts on eligible purchases. Rohit nodded. So friendship isn't just a side quest? Correct. It directly reduces my expenses. He smiled. Then I'm going to become the most socially successful man in Konoha. System recommends genuine relationships. Rohit paused. Obviously. He looked at the relationship list. Sasuke, Naruto, Sakura, Shikamaru. 4 people who would eventually become incredibly important, and each genuine bond could potentially make the system cheaper. It was almost perfect. Then, a new notification appeared. Major fate divergence detected. Rohit's smile disappeared. What? Cause. Host intervention. Known deviations. Naruto has established an early friendship network. Sasuke's isolation has decreased. Sakura's emotional development is changing. Shikamaru has begun interacting with the host. Host has acquired knowledge and abilities outside expected progression. Warning. Future events may no longer occur according to original timeline probability. Rohit slowly sat back. So the future isn't fixed. Correct. How much has changed? Insufficient data. Can you predict upcoming events? Probability estimation only. Then give me the next major event. The system flickered. Calculating. For several seconds, nothing happened. Then,
Academy graduation.
probability 99.8, Rohit sighed. Rohit sighed. That's not exactly difficult to predict. Gene-in team formation. His expression became serious. Team formation. That was where things really began. Team 7, Kakashi, Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura. And now, Rohit, if the system was right, his entire future could change depending on the team structure. Rohit stared at the ceiling. System.
Yes.
Can I unlock the one-time devil fruits